On Tuesday, we're going to be seeing CPI, and similar on Thursday, we'll see jobs and PPI. So these are definitely the big inflation reports that you want to keep your eyes on. We should probably by now be seeing the tariff impact. So these are definitely ones to pay attention to, though with the new news in China, we might see some reversal come next month. I thought one of the really interesting ones to check out is on Friday. There's the import price index. This is just a basket of goods that are imported to the United States every month and how they have changed in price. This would have been calculated this week. The first boats coming off with the 145% tariff will be included. So we should see a large rise, but it's just an interesting one to check. How much is that actually going to be passed on to the import tariff?
Right. Yeah, I think there will be asterisks on all of these inflation numbers here going into the next quarter or two because of all the things you just said. I'm even curious now. I'm thinking CPI and PPI. We've talked about how they're very much related and correlated, but there's a gap between them, and that gap would be profit margin being built in by the companies that sell goods, right? So I wonder if we see any sort of dynamic where PPI remains fairly flat because there's maybe a little bit of a blip because of the few boats that came in at 140% tariffs. But then, there has been talk of producers increasing their retail prices in anticipation, right, raising their margins in anticipation of tariffs and having to kind of counterbalance some of those effects. I wonder if we see CPI jump more than PPI in the short term, just to reflect that kind of margin differential, just like we would do in the mortgage industry, right? Raise margins a little bit in a volatile market. This is for a producer, super volatile market. I don't know what my goods are going to cost next month. So I may have to increase what I'm charging for my product to weather that storm, right, when it comes.